with your host, Ray Grabowski.
Here's Ray.
Good to see you all. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to Meet Clifton. I'm Ray, and this is my co-host, George. How you doing, George?
All right. Great
Good
show
to see you,
tonight.
buddy. Nice suit, by the way.
Great show. Oh, thank you.
It's okay. Well, there's a lot to discuss tonight, and we'll be getting to our guests in just a moment. But first, let's sit back and enjoy some music from our friends, the Two Tones Orchestra. Take it away, Lenny.
Ray's guests on tonight's Meet Clifton are from the Clifton High School United States Marine Corps Junior ROTC program, Patrick Kovalars and Leo Almonte. Director of EMS and Medical Transport, Vito Cicchetti. And local author, Donna Fantacone. With more music by the Two Tones. All this and more on Meet Clifton.
Welcome to Meet Clifton. Our first guests are young men who have chosen the path less traveled within our Clifton public school system. As part of the United States Marine Corps' Junior ROTC program, these kids endure physical and community challenges each and every day, both in the classroom and on the streets of Clifton. Please welcome Cadet First Lieutenant Pat Kovalars and Cadet First Sergeant Leo Almonte. Thanks, guys, for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
These gentlemen are part of the Clifton school system. You're both juniors, right?
That's right.
Okay, let's just start off with the ROTC program. Before the show we were talking, does Clifton have other branches of the service that you can?
No, it's only Marine Corps, JROTC. Other
Okay.
schools around the state and around the country, they also have other branches of JROTC.
Okay, so in Clifton, specifically the Marine Corps.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just start. When did you get involved with it first?
Well, I got involved my sophomore year.
Okay.
I wanted to do it my freshman year, but my parents never let me. And I was able to convince them throughout the course of the year for them to let me join the program my sophomore year.
Okay, and when did you join?
I also joined my sophomore year.
Okay. The ROTC, does this allow you to get out of classes? Or this is on your spare time?
Sometimes, well, in the period, well, we have periods in the high school, right? And ROTC is designated to one period, so me and Almonte are both in period 6.
Right.
But sometimes they'll have us come to different periods to instruct the cadets, to show them how things are done.
Right.
And then during community service, it's our spare time. So.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you too. When you're in the ROTC and you're in Clifton High School, what community services do you offer the people?
Well, usually the community service, we are requested for them. So basically they contact our senior Marine instructor, which would be Chief Warrant Officer Navarro,
Right.
and they ask for a certain amount of cadets or a color guard, and that's when we perform the service for them.
Okay, so you'll go for flag ceremonies, you march in the parades, I would assume?
Yes.
All right. How many are there, ROTC, guys in Clifton High School?
How many cadets in the
Yeah,
program?
how many cadets?
There are about 152 cadets.
150?
How many officers?
How many officers?
Officers
yeah.
for the program and cadet-wise?
Yeah. Like
Well,
you guys.
So there's one CO, it's the main commander of the program, the XO, there's 3 company commanders, and 1 section officer for each section, which we have 4 of them.
I see you got probably a dozen or so that.
Okay, so it's structured similar to the regular Marine Corps, I would
Yes.
think, right? It's
Yes.
the same hierarchy. And so during the course of an average day, do you do something every day for the ROTC?
Yes, we're always doing something. We're never wasting any time. There's always something to do. We always have to like keep ourselves busy, whether it's concerns to like supply work with the uniforms and keeping everything maintained, or just periods of instruction with anything possible, like uniforms,
Right.
leadership, Marine Corps history, or even just like lectures on like life in general.
Right.
Because this is a leadership program, and we learn different leadership traits, and we're taught to apply them in our normal life, and when we're out of high school also.
Okay, and I'm getting to a couple of very good questions, but first, do you have to academically remain high standards in the school?
So to be in the program, we are required to have high standards. And so basically, for every cadet, we would like for them to pass the class. And to be on the drill team, you have to be passing all your classes. If you fail, then you will not be able to be on the drill team.
Okay, well that makes sense, right? Because you're trying to set an example for the other kids too.
Yeah, the
Right.
drill team, just like mock trial or decathlon, it's an academic activity, and
Okay.
you need to maintain like high grades, not even like 90s and above. Just like you just have to pass your classes.
Right.
and if at a certain point you like fail a class, then you're taken off the drill team
Oh, really?
for a whole marking period, and then when you're passed, you're like allowed back in.
Okay. Now, when you apply for this, is everyone accepted, or are there, is there some kind of rules to get into?
Well, to be in ROTC, you have to request it on your schedule. And so I know for the freshmen coming in, if they want to be in ROTC, they're automatically put into the program.
Oh, really?
But if you're going into your LE2 year or LE3 year, and if you're not doing anything productive in the program or you're not setting a good example, you don't have to be requested back to the program. They could say that they don't want you, and it's going to be taken off your schedule.
Okay. And do you know approximately how many women?
We do not
Do you,
know that.
do you have a lot, though? Do you have any?
We do have females in the program.
They have a
Yes.
lot of women.
Do they?
Not,
Yeah, I don't know how
not
many,
saying
but I'm
with
saying.
these guys, but
Right, it's not restricted or anything.
no.
It's not.
Okay,
It's
so
not.
we have women. Now, when you graduate high school, can you continue at ROTC if you choose to go to college?
You can decide to join ROTC in college if they allow it. I mean,
So some colleges don't have ROTC
Right.
program, but I know after we graduate, you could get an ROTC scholarship, which would basically be a full ride to college. You could get it through JROTC. You just have to meet a certain amount of requirements. But if you do join the ROTC program in college, college will be paid for free, and then you'll have to be able to work off your the debt in the military.
How many years would that be?
I think around 4 or 5 years, but I'm not too sure about that.
Right, so there's definitely a benefit then to being the ROTC.
There is a benefit.
Now, just personally, would you probably continue on to the service?
Personally, I was looking at enlisting in the Marine Corps, but after I took the ASVAB, I scored an 82 on it, and I was advised to try and apply for the NROTC scholarship and go to college first.
Okay.
But now I'm looking at becoming a state trooper after college.
Okay. So this will help you either way because you're
That's
learning
right.
the discipline and everything else that you're taught. Now, I was just saying, just because I want to repeat this one more time, if you decide to go to a college that offers ROTC, you can get financial assistance?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Not full scholarships, but something, right? Do you offer
Well,
something?
Then if you're in ROTC in college, I'm pretty sure it's going to be all free for you. The tuition and everything is paid for.
Okay. And just the last question. Oh, sorry, again,
What-
George.
If you go
There's
to
no
college,
discipline.
okay, and you don't go to the ROTC program, but you go after college, you get in a different class, right? You get higher. Like,
But George is asking, if you decide to go to a college that doesn't offer ROTC, and then you decide to join the military, the Marines, well,
Right.
can you still apply your work in high school?
Yes, you can. So if you enlist right after high school, you're going to be a higher rank as
That's
long as
what
you complete 2
that's
years
what I
of the
was talking
program.
about, the rank.
Okay. So technically, after high school, you can go right into the military if you wanted
Yes,
to.
and there's
right?
going to be benefits of
And
taking
there'll be
ROTC.
benefits. And the last question I want to ask both of you, I guess I'll ask Pat first. This whole lifestyle, how do you feel has a positive effect on your life?
Yes, the program did have a positive effect on my life. Going to high school, I didn't really like to talk in front of people. I wasn't really driven to lead people. But in the program, it's taught me to become a better leader, how to publicly speak. It definitely helped me improve there. And in general, it made me a better leader, more disciplined, and I'm pretty sure it's going to help me out in life when I become a state trooper later on.
Good. And, Leo, same question. You feel it has a positive effect on your life?
yeah, ever since I first joined my sophomore year, I feel like I've definitely changed as a person as who I am my junior year. Back then, in freshman year, I really didn't do much in my classes or also in extracurricular activities. And I felt like it was time for me to actually do something because my parents were always telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need
Right.
to like get off your butt and actually do something. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll join ROTC
I
then.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I weighed a lot. Like, I was almost, I think, about 190 pounds. And then a year later, I dropped down like 40 pounds to 160. And my senior Marine instructor, he talks about me to the junior cadets and how I really set an example, like physically. And I feel like I want to be that person to be able to like inspire people
Right.
to be a better person.
Yes, certainly it's admirable to join these things.
Yes.
And actually, these people have a lot of respect for adults and society, which is important because right now the fabric of society is falling apart because we don't have the respect that is due. These guys are great examples. I'd like to thank them for coming on. And other kids, if you're watching this, if you want to join us, it's a great thing to do because it makes you a better man, a better leader, and woman. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, happy summer solstice. Hey, what are you doing on Independence Day? On July 4th, the annual Clifton City Picnic and Fireworks will take place. The City Picnic will be in Main Memorial Park by Main Ave in the Clifton Stadium from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. It is free, so make sure you stop by. At dusk, immediately following, the spectacular fireworks show will take place inside the Clifton Stadium. Tickets will be needed to get inside, and the cost is $3 each. Tickets are available in the city clerk's office, or I think they're available at the door too. For any questions, please call Mayor Anzaldi at 973-470-5757. Thank you.
Please remember to get out to these events whenever possible. Your support helps the community grow closer. Our next guest is here to tell us about how our emergency medical services work. Please welcome Vito, Cicchetti, and John Cronin.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you, Jim. Thanks for coming out. Tonight's subject, of course, is emergency medical services. So we're going to start, there's paramedics, there's EMTs. So let's just start from the basics. What's an EMT?
So an EMT is an emergency medical technician.
Okay.
They are the crews that man the ambulances for each town. So for like Passaic, we have an ambulance there covering them for first responder. And then Clifton, it would be the fire department that has the EMTs on there.
Okay, so in Clifton, our firemen are the EMTs.
They are the EMTs.
Okay, that's not the same case for every town, though, right?
Every town is that way. The ambulances are all manned by EMTs.
Okay, so they're the first people to be called.
They're the first ones to be called.
All right. So now what comes next, of course, are paramedics.
So
how do they fit into this?
So the paramedics all come out of a hospital. They're all sponsored by a hospital, and they are the advanced level care. So it's your emergency room coming basically into your house. They have heart monitors, medications, IVs, and they would do everything that would happen in an emergency room.
Right. You call 911, okay, and whatever. You're not feeling well, or you're having the EMT shows up first. Does the paramedic automatically show up, or do they have to be called? I don't understand the
Good
procedure
question.
here.
In New Jersey, it's a two-tier system. So basically what happens is every 911 call gets the EMTs first.
Right.
So if you call in and you have a sprained ankle, you fell, you just get your town ambulance
Right.
with the EMTs. If you call and you have chest pain, shortness of breath, it's state mandated to have a dual dispatch with the paramedics at that point. So the paramedics will be called and they'll come out. The EMTs will get on scene first, and what happens is they'll assess you. And if they feel like that you don't need advanced life support, or the paramedics, that's how they're also known, they will cancel them and bring you to the hospital.
Right.
If you are in need of advanced life support, then paramedics will come in and they'll take over patient care at that point.
And so when you call 911, who ascertains if you need the EMT or the paramedic? The person on the 911 with the questions?
Yes.
I mean, that's how it works. I guess they would say, what's the problem?
So what happens is they call and they ask what the emergency is, and so whoever's calling says, oh, I'm having chest pain, then they would start asking a bunch of questions about the chest pain.
Right.
And then that's where the state has guidelines set up, and if you say certain things, then it automatically generates a paramedic response.
Okay, I know this might be a crazy question, but I'm sure it happens all the time. I'm in the middle of the night and I'm having problems, but I can't articulate my problem, but I'm able to hit 911. How do they determine what's going on there? You're coughing, you're choking, because who determines that?
So all of the systems, your address and phone number show up on the screen when you dial 911 at the answering center. And they try to ask questions, and if they can't get all the answers, they automatically send the EMTs first, which is the town ambulance, and they'll wait for them to get there or a police officer to get there if they do first responders to see what's going on. And if they need paramedics and they haven't called, then they'll request the paramedics.
Okay, here's another question that comes to mind. I call, I'm in trouble, I live alone. I can't open the door. The door is locked. What happens then? They kick the door in, I guess?
Break the door in if they have to. So they try to find keys. If it's like an apartment complex,
that's a real
they'll get the
question.
super. It is. But it will come times where they might have to break the door in if they think someone's in there and their life is at
Yeah, because I'm sure that happens. A lot of people live alone.
Right.
They call 911, they can't breathe or they can't articulate what's wrong. Cop comes to the door, or the EMT, they're going to have to kick the door down, I would think.
That does occur occasionally.
Okay.
So
Then actually the paramedic is the person that's actually going to render services.
they both render services. They're just two different services. So they're going to render more of the acute care
Right.
So
can an EMT run an IV?
No. They could do.
That's what I'm asking.
Right.
They're,
Right.
They could give you oxygen probably.
Oxygen, splinting, bandaging. or your first line
Right. They can't
emergencies.
administer any drugs or?
They don't carry any medications.
Okay.
They could help assist with giving some medications. So if someone's on nitroglycerin at home and they want to help them take their nitroglycerin
Right.
for chest pain, they could help with that. They do have an EpiPen on hand if they need to
Yeah,
give an
well, that- yeah,
EpiPen,
of
because
course.
that's a life-saving measures. But really, it's very minimal what they can or can't do for medication-wise.
Right. And just for clarification, you're St. Clair's Health, but you're also affiliated with St. Mary's?
St. Mary's General Hospital,
Hospital.
we're all part of the Prime Healthcare system, so we are affiliated with St. Mary's General Hospital, St. Clair's, which
Okay.
is in Morris County, and St. Michael's in Newark.
Okay, so all three of those, right?
All-
And here's another quick question. Do all ambulances only do emergencies, or do they offer other services?
So we, for the towns, usually just provide services, but a lot of places like St. Mary's and St. Clair's, we provide non-emergent transport for discharges to nursing homes or to get
Okay.
home, or if you need assistance to get to a doctor's offices, we would provide services
Right.
in a van, like a livery type service, to help the patients get to where they need to be.
Can they schedule that?
All pre-scheduled.
All pre-scheduled, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's so they would call in advance,
Right.
obviously. Okay, and probably the last question I have to ask, do you bill for these services?
So there is a bill for services if they're a licensed service. Some towns have volunteers for their their ambulance services. The volunteers don't bill, but the paramedics will bill. And if the EMTs are licensed services, they probably will generate a bill and a charge for the service.
Okay, well, obviously there's fees involved, people get paid. Okay, well, that's a lot of good information. I didn't, the EMT and the paramedic difference is important for people to know, so hopefully we don't need them, but if we do, it's good to know a little bit about it. So I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for
I
coming
thank
on.
you.
Appreciate it. Thanks again.
Hello, Clifton and friends. Welcome to the updates. Well, summer is here. So go out, have some fun, enjoy the weather. But before you do so, please consider going to the Clifton City Hall blood drive. It is on Thursday, June 28th from 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., 900 Clifton Avenue. And while you're giving blood, they will do a free health screening. They're going to check your cholesterol, blood pressure, temperature, iron, pulse, and blood type. So while you're giving blood, saving a life, you might even be saving your own life as well. So please consider doing that. Then the Clifton Arts Center is hosting the citywide garage sale, and that will be on July 7th. But you do have to register before Wednesday, June 27th. So please go to the office of the city clerk, 900 Clifton Avenue, the first floor, and consider joining the garage sale that's on July 7th. Register before June 27th, and you get to donate to the Art Center. It's a good cause for refurbishing and to keeping a lot of the art events up to date and for future events. So thank you, and we'll see you around town. Enjoy your wonderful summer.
Well, thanks for staying around. Our final guest this evening is a local author, Donna Fantacone. Donna, welcome to the show.
Thank you
Thanks
for
coming
having
down.
me.
Tonight, Donna wrote a book, and it's a children's book, right?
It is.
I mean, do you have a?
I do,
Can you hold
yes.
that up?
I sure can.
Okay. It's a children's book. It's for children. We're going to get into that. But first, have you written any other books?
No, this is my first.
Okay, so you're writing a book about children. What inspires you to write? What do? You sit down one day, I want to write a book. There's inspiration here.
There is. First, the inspiration for this book is my father. He
Okay.
was a policeman in the town of Belleville for 30 years, and he was very heroic. So growing up around that, I was always connected to safety. Early on, I was a lifeguard. I went to college to be an educator, an elementary education teacher, and I aspired to teach children safety.
Okay, now let me just take a look at this, because can't have enough children's books, and this is a great thing. If I was to read this, what message would I get? What do you want let's just say this. What do you want the children, when they read this, what messages do you want them to learn?
Well, it's all about safety. The first page is the most important to me. It's all about safety in the water. It's safety, swimming safety. We have don't swim alone. You need to swim near a lifeguard because, you know, the #1 cause of death for young children is drowning.
Right.
It's very important. There's another page dedicated to pool drains, which are really dangerous. And now the CPSC is spearheading a program to bring this to light to people. The pool drains are very dangerous.
Okay.
So that's the second. There's fire safety information in here, alerting children to be aware of an evacuation plan.
Okay. So in the book, Officer Tony teaches these lessons.
He does.
Which is inspired from your father, obviously.
Right, right.
So you sit down and say, I'm going to write a children's book to help them learn safety. Now, what's the process like?
The process is difficult because you put together the idea and you run it by a few. I had a publisher telling me they were ready, and then when I put together, my illustrator, myself, put together the entire mock copy of the book, they rejected it after they gave me the great go-ahead.
Right.
And I'm not sure why, so I went to another publisher. Everything has to go through an initial review, which is a process whereby they research that you have not taken someone else's idea. There can't be another book out there similar.
Right, good
I can't be
plagiarism, obviously.
plagiarizing
Right, of
somebody
course,
else's
of course.
idea. So that process was a good 60 days of just waiting. And then you get the go-ahead that they like it, they love it, and they're going to go ahead with it.
Okay, you have the ideas first.
Yes.
So actually, you sit down, you start writing
Right.
a story.
You propose to them.
Right.
That you're
and
gonna
then-
put this
And the
book together.
illustration obviously comes last. You match the illustration to the episode or whatever.
Absolutely, to each page, yes.
Because sometimes you're reading to small children. Some parents may be reading that, so you want to have nice illustration. And from what I can see, it has nice illustrations.
I have to tell you, just a quick second, my illustrator is the daughter of Mel Leipzig, Francesca Leipzig-Bacone, beautiful artist. Her father is Mel Leipzig, and he's world known as an artist. So she learned from one of the best,
Right.
Mel
Now,
Leipzig.
when you're putting this together, the publishing house or whatever, do they give you an editor?
No, they do the editing process. They did edit.
So, so technically you write it, they also edit it?
Yes.
Now, is that reviewed with you, or you accept that as gospel? Or
They
are you involved in the editing process?
No, I really wasn't. They accepted my book completely. This is actually published through an assisted publishing method,
Right.
which is a division of Simon & Schuster. So they assisted me in the processes, but really it was all my own doing.
Okay, so obviously you were inspired, and
I was.
You want to get a message out to children because everyone wants children to be safe.
Absolutely.
So it's more of a, I don't know how to put it. Maybe you're this helpful instinct inside of you. You
Yeah.
have an instinct to help children.
Absolutely. Raising my son, going
Right.
to college. He was a Boy Scout. I was a leader. We taught them safety. There's a lot of safety taught in the Boy Scouts. There are only special programs that come into the grammar schools,
Right.
and I just felt there was a need for this book, and Simon & Schuster felt the same way.
And that's good. And your son also was an Eagle
He's an Eagle
Scout, right?
Scout, yes.
Yeah,
He's
and that's,
in-
I always like to say that because Eagle Scouts, there's not that many in the United States. I think
Right.
4 or 6% of people, Scouts, become Eagle Scouts.
Right.
That's
right.
pretty amazing.
He's pictured in the book as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so you used him too as inspiration.
I did. He's inside the book, as well as my parents.
Okay, and I guess the last question I want to ask, anything in the works?
Yeah, I'm working on a second, kind of a sequel to this.
A sequel.
Yeah, or, to a series, the second of a series.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad you came on. I hope the sequel or the series goes well, and you never know, maybe a movie.
Oh, thank you. That would be wonderful.
Donna, thanks very much
for
for coming
having
on. I
me.
appreciate it.
It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful. Thank you.
Well, Meet Clifton is done for tonight, but we'll be back soon with much more of what makes this such a great place to live. I'd like to thank all the guests that came out tonight and my fabulous cast and crew for making another great episode. From all of us, including George and myself, remember, be good to your friends and family, respect your neighbors, keep Clifton close to your heart. This is a great city. Thank you, God bless, and good night.